By-elections commence in 8 states of the Federation as Federal Road Safety Corps admonishes truck owners on refleeting and routine maintenance. Hello and thanks for joining us today on Panorama. I am Zenred Dingmun and we are live in Abuja. Now, early arrival of voting materials and large turnout of voters characterized the by-election conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) into Remo Federal Constituency in Ogun State.
The Remo Federal Constituency by-election in Ogun State actually commenced on time with electoral materials and INEC officials arriving the various polling units at 8 o'clock in the morning and commencing the process of having a smooth election. Something that is very interesting is the fact that electorates troop out with enthusiasm to come and exercise their franchise. They were seen orderly at their various polling booths across the places that I monitored in Shagamu and Ikene local government. We are actually about going to Remo North local government to see what is going on there now. But now everything is smooth, and initially there was a kind of issue with a beavers machine that is not recognizing the people on time, but this problem was actually surmounted in within some minutes. INEC officials are saying probably because of the weather condition at that time, because it was very cool at that time and it's like the rain want to fall at that time. Maybe because that was the reason why the beavers machine was not actually working on time as at then. But within 10-15 minutes, this problem was actually surmounted and everything was going on smoothly. Among the people that came out to exercise their franchise is the state governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, who also approached the Taosoyin Ward 3, Unit 2 in Iperu to exercise his franchise, and he actually gave a thumb up to INEC for conducting a peaceful and smooth election in a peaceful and smooth by-election in Ogun State. Reports that I'm having across the 3 local governments of Shagamu, Ikene and Remo North is that the process is going on smoothly and electorates actually came out in their numbers to exercise their franchise. And that's it for now. I will keep you posted on further developments.
Okay, thank you, Yemi. And Kaduna is also one of the 12 states that the by-elections is taking place, and Haruna Mohammed has an update for us.
I am standing at polling unit 19 and where the federal constituency election is taking place. And the election materials arrive here across the Kaduna State as early as possible. And election is currently going on. And here at this polling unit, the election is also taking place as well as security operatives are on ground to ensure that they have a speech-free elections across these local governments where the by-election is going to be taking place. Also from Zaria, where we have some of our correspondents standing there, they also informed me that the election is actually taking place in a peaceful and atmosphere where everyone is free to exercise his franchise. The election material also arrived at the scene as early as possible, and also the voters are turning off one after the other to also come and cast their ballots.
Okay, thank you, Haruna. We'll bring you more updates as they come in, but for now, let's join our Sokoto Network Center for the continuation of Panorama.
And thanks for joining us in Sokoto. To amplify the gains of the policies and projects of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which the people insist are in tandem with the aspirations of Ebonyi State and Extension Southeast, the citizens' engagement with the Minister of Information was held in Abakaliki. Caleb Agbona reports that the Minister of Information, Muhammad Idris, at the event reiterates Mr. President's resolve to continue on the trajectory of governance that will not only meet the needs of citizens but will also guarantee the future of the country. The report.
These are members of the ECOWAS Parliament converge on Abuja for the continued growth and effectiveness of parliamentary institutions in the region. Experts say, in the fast evolving governance landscape, parliaments are expected to make informed, timely and impactful decisions, hence the need for proficiency in parliamentary procedures and diplomatic engagements.
You need to have stronger institutions, and that is the best way for you to establish procedure. If institutions are weak, then procedures will not be strong.
Key to democracy and good governance in any country is the legislature, the parliament. And if parliament is taken seriously within individual nation states, it must be taken seriously when you talk of the multilateral organization or international organization at that level too.
At the end of the training, participants are to apply the knowledge in contributing to the democratic and socio-economic advancement of West Africa. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News. Economic advancement.
Concern over a Canadian federal court ruling designating certain Nigerian political parties as terrorist organizations. A statement by the Minister of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Kemebi Ebenfa explains that the designation followed an asylum case review of one Nigerian Clement Douglas Ehareva, who arrived in Canada in 2017 while assessing his refugee claim under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. The court made sweeping statements applying the terrorist designation to Nigeria's political parties. The foreign minister clarifies that the court wrongly accused certain parties, including those that produce democratically elected presidents, instead of focusing on specific individuals found wanting. The statement warns that associating legitimate parties with terrorism without evidence is a grave misrepresentation that risks inciting tension and undermining institutions. Nigeria therefore calls on Canada to immediately retract the erroneous designation and offers to engage via diplomatic channel to rectify the error. Furthermore, the government calls on the international community to disregard the ruling. Consequently, the federal government urges Nigerians abroad not to make unfounded allegations against Nigeria for asylum benefits. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, orders a comprehensive institutional review of the 128-page Amnesty International report titled Decade of Immunity, Attacks and Unlawful Killing in Southeast Nigeria. A statement by the force notes that the report alleges patterns of extrajudicial killing and human rights violations by the Nigeria Police Force and other security agencies in the Southeast. In line with his commitment to transparency, accountability and professionalism, the Inspector General of Police directs relevant departments and affected field formations to conduct a meticulous line-by-line assessment of the report. This review involves cross-checking the allegations against operational records, field intelligence and command and tactical units in the Southeast. While affirming the force's commitment to upholding citizens' rights, the Inspector General of Police also notes that previous Amnesty International reports have at times contained inaccuracies and sweeping generalization. He assured that the ongoing review will be evidence-driven with a detailed response to follow, reflecting the Nigerian Police Force dedication to fact, institutional integrity and constructive engagement. We now pause for some break. Panorama will continue in a moment. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The rainy season brings the risk of flooding with overflowing rivers and blocked drains posing serious threats to lives and properties. Determined to stay ahead of the danger, the Sokoto State Government, in collaboration with the relevant authorities, has stepped up early measures including clearing drainage channels and sensitizing communities. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu has more.
As the rains intensify this season, the risk of flooding remains a serious concern for communities across Sokoto State. The Sokoto and Rima rivers, which sustain farming and fishing, can also pose a serious threat when heavy downpours force them over their banks. Past experience shows that blocked drains, poor waste disposal, and unplanned buildings near waterways often make the situation worse. This year, authorities are taking a more proactive approach, clearing drainage channels, sensitizing residents, and placing emergency teams on standby before the peak of the rains. Relief materials and rescue equipment are already positioned in strategic locations to allow for quick response if flooding occurs. Experts stress that long-term solutions are just as important: improved land use planning, flood-resistant crops, and stronger river banks to withstand seasonal overflows.
If there is a settlement which is very close to river banks and the rest of it, then you expect, if there is torrential rainfall, rivers will overflow their banks and ultimately lead to flooding.
The message is clear: with early preparation and community cooperation, Sokoto can reduce the damage floods cause, protect lives, and turn the rainy season into an opportunity rather than a disaster. From Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
And now to our discussion segment. With me in the studio is Tukur Abubakar, Head of Planning, NEMA's Sokoto office, operational office. Sir, you are welcome to Panorama.
Thank you.
So, sir, Sokoto is flagged as flood-prone this year. What is NEMA preparing, or to how is NEMA prepared to reduce the risk?
Thank you very much. Let me start by breaking the breakdown. You said Sokoto is flagged as a flood-prone area. That is based on the NISA and NIMET prediction. You know, NISA is an agency that is saddled with the responsibility of predicting floods every year. So even this year, they predicted number of states that will be affected, and Sokoto is included. So if you look at it, the prediction is normally in three segments. Normally we have those that are predicted to be flooded within the months of April, May, June. Then there are some that will be predicted to be flooded within the month of July, August, September. Then the last one is October, November. So based on these predictions, if you look at it, Sokoto is also part of it. From April, May, June, Sokoto is predicted as to be moderately affected by flood. Then in the month of July, August, September, there are some local governments that are going to be flooded, predicted to be flooded as high risks. Then there are some that are also moderately risks. Then in October, November, also there are some local governments that are highly risks and also moderately risks. So normally in NEMA, every year, as a coordinating agency, whenever NISA and NIMET release their predictions, that is annual flood outlook and also the seasonal climate predictions, is the mandate of NEMA to bring on board all relevant stakeholders, so that to have what you call an expert meeting to look at these predictions and also come up with what we call disaster risk management implication. Disaster risk management implication will look at all the human sectors and how these predictions will affect them, and also come up with recommendations. So this year, one of the recommendations that the expert brought on board is that there should be physical downscaling of this early warning of these predictions, and also there should be preparedness and response strategies. So is the mandate of NEMA after these outcomes then NEMA will write to all the states in the federation, including the FCT, to the state government that this is what is predicted and we think this is what the state should do. Then apart from those letters, also NEMA send teams to each and every state to downscale these recommendations.
So if you don't mind me asking, what is this physical downscaling you're talking about?
That's what I want to explain now.
Okay.
When you say physical downscaling, now after the experts have sat down and come out with recommendation based on the implications, now when you come to downscale it, you are telling the state the role that state should play, the role that the local government level should play, and also the community, what they are expected to play in abating these incidences. So that is what we call the physical downscaling. So NEMA has done that in all the states, including Sokoto here. And also, apart from the downscaling, we also embark on sensitization campaigns at the grassroots levels. You know, these disasters normally happens at the grassroots levels. So it's good you sensitize them, let them know the risks around them. Let them know how to also prevent or mitigate these risks. So we back on so many sensitization campaigns in the state with collaboration with SEMA and all the relevant stakeholders in Sokoto State. So this is what we have done in Sokoto State so far.
Okay, so how is NEMA helping residents stay safe apart from these meetings and awareness?
When you say helping residents, for you to help a local person is the best thing. Let him know the risks around him.
Okay.
By sensitizing him, you are telling him, okay, you are staying in a lowland area or a flood-plain area, so you are vulnerable to flooding, do this, do that. So at times we tell them, try to find a high ground so that in case if it floods, you move to a high ground. That is what we have a program we call community-based early warning system. We used to go to communities, we train them on this community-based early warning system on how to be resilient in such a way that they can cope with disasters before even outside intervention. So we used to train them on this community-based early warning system so that they own the program themselves. You know, at times these locals, when you come with a program, if they are not owning it, they will not feel as if it is their own program. So we let them know, it's their own program, they should own it. So you will see that they will be very happy to accept the program.
Yeah. So what lessons can we take from the past floods? How can we apply and protect our homes and farmlands with our infrastructure for this year?
Well, based on last year's flood, a lot of lessons were learned. One of the key lessons we observe is that the locals, they don't know that response starts from them. Response does not start from the federal or state. And they don't know that in responding to disaster or disaster management itself is categorized into three phases. We have the federal, the state, and the local government. So when a disaster strikes, it's the responsibility of what we call local emergency management committee at the local government level. Because the act that established NEMA also mandated states, each state to form what we call State Emergency Management Agency.
Yes.
And also the act that formed the SEMA also mandated them to make sure that each local government have what we call Local Emergency Management Committee. So the first line of action is the Local Emergency Management Committee. It's only when it is beyond their capacity, that is when they will invite SEMA. And also when SEMA intervene and realize that it is beyond their own capacity, they will also call for NEMA. That is when it has become a national incident. Then NEMA will intervene. So we let the locals know that this is how we operate, and it is going to help a lot in the long run.
Okay.
Sure.
So what are some of the challenges you face while carrying out your responsibility?
Most of the, you see, like now, if I can give you an example, in Kebbi State, we have what we call a company village in Argungu. They were flooded last 2 years, and the best thing is for them is to relocate from that place. So the state government, in collaboration with NEMA, gave them a space to relocate. NEMA even donated building materials for them to relocate to the higher ground, but they refused to relocate. But when last year's rainfall falls again, the village still got flooded. So they realized that the best thing for them is to relocate from that place. That is why now they are trying to relocate, but initially they don't want to relocate. So this is one of the major challenges we face, relocating people from a flood front zone. Maybe some will say their grandparents' graves are there, they don't want to leave their farms. So this is one of the challenges we face.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming on Panorama this afternoon. All right. That was our discussion with Tukur Abubakar, head of planning, NEMA Sokoto Operation Office. And back to our news. To amplify the gains of the policies and projects of the renewed hope agenda of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, which people insist are in tandem with the aspirations of Ebonyi State and Extension Southeast, the citizens' engagement with the Minister of Information was held in Abakaliki. Caleb Obona reports that the Minister of Information, Muhammad Idris, at the event reiterates Mr. President's resolve to continue on the trajectory of governance that will not only meet the needs of citizens, but will also guarantee the future of the country.
His engagement with the delegation of the Minister of Information, which is to round up his visit to Ebonyi State, was organized to appraise the progress of the renewed hope agenda in the Southeast and aggregate areas of interest for the zone and Ebonyi State in particular.
We need more institutions. We need more appointment. It has problems.
Leveraging the support disposition of Mr. President to state governments, Governor Francis Nwifuru implored the federal government to aid his efforts in reviving Nigeria's first cement factory situated at Nkalego, Ebonyi State.
We took a decision, very bold decision, to the president on support of Mr. President. I am doing so many things.
The minister emphasizes that the vision behind Mr. President's progressive synergy with state governments despite party affiliations is embedded in governance of inclusivity and prosperity of all zones.
We are on the right trajectory. When there was water, when they're looking whether you are coming in better or you not better, they don't talk say waiting for the water may be now for Nigeria. They cannot say that we used to have, that the Abakaliki rice that we used to do and economy will ensure that all that will come in so that our people can get what we do and our economy will grow.
The minister's entourage comprised top government functionaries, including the directors general of different media organizations in Nigeria. Caleb Obona, NTA News.
From the sporting world, let's join our correspondent on Sports Update.
Nigerians D Tigers secured their second consecutive victory at the ongoing Men's 2025 Afro-Basket Championship in Angola, recording an impressive victory over defending champions Tunisia to maintain a winning streak. D Tigers overpowered Tunisia 87-66 in their second group game in Angola, with George Okogie delivering a clutch performance for Nigeria, making an impressive 33 points to inspire Nigeria to a blowout win. Meanwhile, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFM, has released names of 26 athletes to represent the country at the forthcoming Confederation of African Athletics Region 2 Senior Athletics Championship holding 18th and 19th August in Accra, Ghana. Nigeria will compete in 20 events at the University of Ghana Sport Complex in Legon, Accra, under the technical guidance of the Technical Director Gabriel Okon and National Head Coach Solomon Aliyu. The team is expected to depart Lagos Saturday for Accra ahead of the championship. To football, President of the Nigerian Football Federation NFF, Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau, has reiterated that there will be no change to the kickoff date of the 2025-2026 Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL season, which is scheduled to begin on August 22. The NFF president praised the NPFL board for amplifying the league's profile to international community and for their commitment to adopting global best practices while urging stakeholders to maintain their support for the league. And finally, to football, Liverpool struck twice late on as they opened the defense of the Premier League title with a dramatic 4-2 victory over Bournemouth on Friday. Meanwhile, 5 matches will be decided Saturday as Aston Villa will open their campaign against Newcastle. Fulham go away to Brighton, Sunderland welcome West Ham, and Tottenham take on Burnley. The final game for Saturday will see Pep Guardiola's Manchester City travel to Molineux Stadium as they take on Wolves. In Abuja, Oche Ngbedi, NTA News.
Wrap it all up on Panorama from Sokoto Network Center. Good afternoon.